Hey everyone, are you new to pickleball? Let me teach you the rules. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the US, and in this video, I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know to get started playing pickleball. Pickleball is a combination of tennis, badminton, and table tennis. You can play doubles with 4 players on one court or singles with 2 players on one court. You can play pickleball using paddles, not rackets, and a pickleball, which is basically a type of wiffle ball. A pickleball court is much smaller than a tennis court. It is 44 feet long and 20 feet wide. The court is divided into 3 sections: the right side, the left side, and the kitchen, which you can also call it non-volley zone. The kitchen extends 7 feet from the net on each side. A pickleball game is played to 11 points, and it is won by 2. You also have the baseline, the sidelines, and the kitchen lines. Every point starts with a serve. When serving in pickleball, you must have both feet behind the baseline. The serve is an underhand shot. You must swing low to high, and you must have at least 1 foot on the ground at point of contact. You must make contact with the ball at your waist or below, and at point of contact, the paddle cannot be above your wrist. The serve must land in the box diagonally across from the server, and it needs to land past the kitchen line. If it lands in the kitchen or on the kitchen line, it is considered a missed serve. If it hits the baseline line or sidelines, it is a good serve. The serve must bounce before it can be returned by the receiving team. When starting a point, the receiving team will start with 1 player back and 1 player behind the kitchen. The serving team would start with both players back. This is because of what we call the double bounce rule, which means both teams must let the ball bounce once on their respective sides before they can hit the ball without letting it bounce. In pickleball, the goal is to get to the kitchen line because that is where most of the points are won. The kitchen rules are definitely some of the most important rules to know. This area of the court is called the kitchen or non-volley zone because you cannot hit a volley out of the air if you are in the kitchen line or inside the kitchen. You also cannot allow your momentum to take you into the kitchen after you hit a volley out of the air. If the ball bounces, you can hit the ball from wherever you want. One of the biggest misconceptions I see is players thinking they have to wait for the ball to bounce in the kitchen before stepping in. The rule only states you cannot hit the volley out of the air from the kitchen. That means that legally, you are allowed to be in the kitchen whenever you want. How do you win points in pickleball? If a team hits the ball into the net, if a team hits the ball out of bounds, if a team hits another player, if the ball bounces twice, and if a team commits a kitchen fault. Next, let's talk about how you score points. Due to the double bounce rule, the serving team starts every point at a disadvantage since the receiving team starts with 1 player behind the kitchen line, and the player that is back can move forward as soon as they return the serve. Remember, the goal is to get to the kitchen line first because that's where most points are won. You can win a rally on either side, but you can only score a point by winning a rally when you're serving. The score in pickleball consists of 3 numbers. The first is the serving team score, the second is the receiving team score, and the third is always either a 1 or 2, which tells you if it is the first or second server of the serving team. This is important because after the second server on a team serves and loses a point, a side out occurs which allows the opposite team the chance to serve. The player standing on the right side of the court when the side out occurs will be the first server for that possession or server number 1. When the serving team loses a rally, the server goes to the second server on that team and they are server number 2 for that possession. When the serving team loses a rally and they were on their second server, that possession is over and a side out occurs. Your serve number on your team can change from one possession to the other depending on who is on the right side of the court when the side out occurs. Now let's put this into play and put it all together.
Hey guys, we have some really exciting news. We just partnered up with Pickleball Central. If you don't know what Pickleball Central is, it's basically a store where they sell everything from shoes to like paddles. They have literally everything related to pickleball. We're super excited. You can also use a 10% discount with my code CP10. We're super grateful for our partner, and without them, we wouldn't be able to make this amazing content, so go check them out.
In a pickleball game, the first possession of every game, the serving team, there will only be one player on that serving team who gets the opportunity to serve before there is a side out. That only applies to the first time that the serving team possesses the ball. Every other time in the pickleball game, each member of the serving team will get a chance to serve before there is a side out. So for that reason, our starting score at the beginning of every pickleball game is 0 because Paul and I have 0, 0 because Alan and Catherine have 0, and 2 because this is when we're starting the game and I am the only one in this possession who will have the opportunity to serve on our team for this first possession. So if I serve and Paul and I lose the point, it's an automatic side out, just this first time. Every other time, both players on both teams will have the opportunity to serve before there is a side out. So to start, Alan's gonna come forward. He's gonna be behind the kitchen line. Paul and I are the serving team. They are the receiving team. Score is 0-0-2. All right, so Paul and I lost that point. So because of that, remember that was the first possession. So Paul does not get the opportunity to serve on this possession. It's a side out. When there is a side out, the person on the right side of the court will always be the first server. So for that reason, Catherine is server number 1 on that team. And the score is 0 because they haven't scored any points, 0 because Paul and I haven't scored any points, and 1 because Catherine is the first server. Okay, now that they lost that point, they are not going to switch sides, but the serve will go from Catherine to Alan. The score is now 0-0-2 because Alan is the second server. And now that is a side out. They lost their opportunity to score. And Paul and I are now the serving team. Score is 0-0-1. I'm serving first because I'm on the right side of the court. Okay, the score is now 0-0-2. All right, so Paul and I, we finally scored a point. Paul was serving, so we're gonna switch sides. And because we scored a point, we have 1, so score is 1-0, and Paul is still the second server, so 1-0-2. Two. Side out. 0-2. Sorry. Whoa! What's the score? Okay. 222. You. Oh! Hey, Alan was trying to hustle us. He said he's a 2-5. Side out. 2-5-1. Woo! 3-5-1. That is so lazy.
Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you get into the sport. Don't worry, I still mess up with the scoring. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or leave any comments if you have any down below. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you with the scoring. No, I hope, what was it again? Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you get into the sport. Don't forget okay, one last one, I get this. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and like, oh my God. You must make contact with the ball at your waist or below and at point of contact. Does that make sense? You must make contact with the ball at your waist or below